Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Scale Riders Podcast. This is episode number 161 with my guest, Gavin, all the way from Japan here. You guys are going to know him, obviously, on Instagram as Lowrider Model Car Parts. He does have a website, so if you guys want to check out the site, it's lowridermodelcarparts.com. So what's up, Gavin? How you been?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Yeah.
Dang. So this is second time we've done an interview. I feel like it's been maybe more than a year and a half since the last time we had you on the show.
It's been almost 2.
Dang, that's that's a long time.
Yeah. That was after the Iceman build off.
Yeah. And it's so crazy. Like I feel like so much stuff obviously happened between all that time to now. Now you have the launch of the business. I feel like you're filling in you filled in a big void that was like there back then with wheels, and not only that, even with accessories for Lowrider.
Yeah.
Because I still remember when I was getting into this and just like working on model cars with like Armando Flores, Juan Mesqua, and then later other car model builders, the guys from down to scale. One of the things from that I always felt was very important was the wheels. And that was one thing that I lacked on. I didn't have the wheels. As time went on, I would be blessed by wheels. Like, here you go, Armando would hook me up, or like Hank's wheels came out for a while, we're getting those. But other than that, I feel like there was always like a struggle, like to get wheels and parts. But once you came out the gate, dude, I feel like everybody was like super happy. How does that feel, like, to know that you're coming out with products and people are happy and using them?
It's cool, man. It started off as just basically a list of bomb accessories that I wanted on the market, stuff I was always after and couldn't get. And honestly, like, I had no intention of doing wheels at all until one day I realized, like, hey, like, if I want this to pay for itself, I should put out some wheels, because that's what people buy, that's what they want. And what was that, about a year and a half ago, there wasn't, like, Hank had quit. Jeffrey's kind of moved towards the 110 stuff, like focusing on the Red Cat car. And I think T. Dennis was having problems getting plating done. And so there's like no wheels left,
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. It was a good time to introduce some wheels, I guess.
Yeah, because it was crazy. Like, once you started coming out with the stuff, it was exciting. And I know, people were ordering them and getting them in hands, but I think everybody was very surprised as how fast they were getting them from you, all the way from Japan. And once they had them in hand, they were able to see the quality that you were putting out,
dude.
Especially that chrome, chrome, I feel like it's always been another factor that's very important in the model car scene, especially Lowriders. People want to get chrome parts, chrome plating, everything. And the minute, that they see chrome plated parts on someone's build, they right away will ask, where'd you get them? Where'd you go? How much was it? And sometimes it's tough, like, to, not everybody's going to give you those answers for that. But with this, it was just crazy that, people got the wheels and the parts, and it wasn't even like asking you, hey, where'd you get it? It was more like, I want to buy more.
Oh, I definitely got tons of messages about the chrome plating, but there's nothing, even if they could send parts to Japan, like, even if they were willing to, they can't. Like, the guy just takes cash, and it's all Japanese. They don't do overseas stuff.
Yeah.
So it's you can't. And honestly, like, it's not cheap. It's like triple what guys in the States used to charge.
Yeah.
And it's also like with the shipping these days, like, a little tiny box like I send now is $25, but like a racks of parts, like that's gonna cost like probably $150 each way, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, do you really want to invest $600, you know, to chrome plate some stuff?
Yeah, dude, it's a trip. Like you being in Japan and you know, being like, all right, I'm gonna make these wheels and all these parts, you know. What was the like for you, like the plan? Like, did you have to go seek out, you know, like the chromer first, or were you already designing 3D?
Nah,
How did it all
there,
kind of come together?
there really was no plan. I just, you know, I lost my work because of COVID, and I didn't see any work ahead of me for a while, so I knew I was gonna have time on my hands. And I had been kind of casually researching 3D printers because I was kind of curious. And then and then I just decided to buy one. Like, why not? You know, I'm just sitting here. So I bought one and I learned how to use it. And once I learned how to use it, I paid a designer to do the Thermador swamp cooler, because that's the item that I always want to use and nobody ever has them. So I paid a guy to make those, and I printed some off, and I was like, this is great. I've got swamp coolers for life now, you know? And after that, I was building that 50 Chevy pickup, that brown one. And I tried to mount the kit visor, and it was like, it just didn't fit right. And the mounts kept falling off. I was like, you know what? Let's find another designer. Let's get a visor made for this. So I did the visor, then I did the side shield. And then I was like, man, it'd be nice to do some bumper guards. I wonder if I could find a chrome plater in Japan. And like I did, I found a chrome plater, and I was like, cool. So I made some bumper guards. And like at that point, I was kind of sitting there looking at this stuff, and like I had sent some stuff to the chrome plater, like one rack of like, because the chrome plater told me 3D printed parts, like the plastic, it melts sometimes during their chroming process. So I kind of had to test it first, right? So I threw some bumper guards on there and some regular kit parts. He said would be okay. So I put some regular kit parts on there and sent it out. And I got the chrome back, and I was like, dude, like this is the best chrome I've ever seen, you know? And at that point I was like, well, shit, I'll do some 39 bumper guards. And then I thought, well, you know, like I could turn this into something, you know, but like I need to do a wheel because that's what people are after, you know? So I came up with those 30 spokes, and then like all of a sudden I had, you know, a small line of products, you know? And so I did the website, and a friend of mine did the logo, and I bought some boxes, and you know, that was about it, dude. And like it worked out, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty dope. The
Yeah.
person that did your logo is a person based out of Japan, or is he here in the States?
He's he's like one of my best friends. I've known him since grade school.
Oh, that's cool, dude. He got down. It's dope. I like it. It's a.
Yeah.
I mean, those stickers that you've given me with the packages, like I
Yeah.
love looking at that sticker. It's like
Yeah.
super cool, and I know that for sure in the future. Right now, we might not see it, but I know in the future it's gonna be one of those like iconic stickers. Like every modeler is gonna know, like what that sticker represents.
Yeah. Yeah. He's actually a tattoo artist, and he lives in somewhere out the Netherlands. Lives out in Netherlands now. But yeah, man, I told him, I was like, I want a 39 Chevy pointing this way with Lowrider model car parts written around it. And he just like whipped that up, and that was it. I was like, hell yeah, dude, cool, man. This is perfect. Oh, you know, actually he made it square first, and I tried to add it to the Instagram account, and it didn't work because the photo has to be a circle. You know, it turns it into a circle.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had him change it and make it all round. But yeah.
Right on, dude. That's dope. Yeah, because I mean, it just the packaging. Like the first time when I got one of your packages, you know, just seeing the small little box, I was like, oh damn, this is dope. It's here. opening
Yeah.
it up. It has a sticker, the wheels, but not only that, there's also a little sheet you included with the
Yeah.
instructions as well, and a business card. How, what, how was it important for you to include all those things for packaging, with your orders?
It was important. I mean, might as well throw a business card in. Like you get, 3,000 of them for $10 or whatever. And the stickers were kind of expensive, but they're nice to have. And the little disclaimer, uh, those like that packaging was really cool, man. It was a small, compact box, and everything fit in there perfect. And if it didn't, I would just tape two together. But like originally, I bought like 50 of those boxes, and I burned through them real quick. And so I bought 300 more the next time. And as soon as I used that new stack of boxes, I did a trip to the post office, and they deemed the boxes like half a centimeter too small to use.
Oh,
Um,
damn,
yeah, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
that's crazy. Yeah,
So that's why after that I started putting the box into a manila envelope and sending it that way, which kind of made me mad because that doubled my price on the packaging, having to buy the manila envelopes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
God damn.
And the boxes I have now are the same material, but they're kind of like made for files. But yeah, the packaging is not even nice anymore, man. The box is like I have to put tape around it because it's got these perforations, and like they're too big for the product to fit in there nicely. So I kind of just roll it up in some plastic and then shove a bunch of newspaper in there. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's like things, all these things that are gonna just happen, with the business. There's always gonna be changes, shipping prices going up, and
Yeah.
specifications. You got to do this. So then at some point you have to kind of pivot and figure out, all right, how can I get around this? And especially with shipping, you want to find like what's the best method, but also for it not to be so expensive. But it's always like a struggle. Like it's always going to be something with shipping, especially with like the whole pandemic COVID thing going on.
It's not it's not even COVID anymore right now. Now it's just USPS. I, Last October they announced they were raising prices and cutting service. Well, part of that service was the economy shipping from Japan. And so the only thing that was left was the EMS for $25. And that hurt, dude. And now starting June 1st, that's going up to 40. And the economy shipping is coming back, but it's jumping up to I think $29.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. So like at this point, it's absolutely impossible for me to get sales from here. But I got that taken care of actually. I don't think I've mentioned this on Instagram anywhere, so you might be the first one to hear about it.
Yeah. What is it? Let's see.
But okay, so after N&L West, so basically I'm bringing all my inventory with me. It all fits in a suitcase.
That's right. That's dope.
Yeah, it's all coming with me. And I'm going to do a SoCal Open. I might go to Dallas for the Plastic Society show. And then the last show is going to be N&L West. And after N&L West, what's left is being sent to somebody in the States who you guys all know, but we're just kind of keeping it on the down low because I don't want him getting bothered with like messages about shipping or anything like that. But
Yeah, that'll
so
definitely happen. Hey,
yeah,
what's up?
so product will be in America like starting May 1st. It's never going to ship out of Japan ever again.
That's good.
Yeah, so it'll be like domestic American shipping. I think it's going to be like a $6 flat rate, unless they raise prices again between now and then. But so, and for the like European and other countries, I'm basically going to take the shipping profiles off the website. So, because I mean, 95% of the customers are in America anyways. So anybody in Europe or, anywhere else, just can message me through the website or Instagram or wherever.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, because that's the thing, dude. Finding a way to get over like that wall, right? Because
Yeah.
you're in Japan, a lot of your customers are in the States, so it's like you have the product. It's just the problem is getting it to them, and you have to find that solution.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like I tried to fight it for as long as I could, but like after I saw that next shipping rate hike, I was like, oh God. And it's like, it's only America too. It said right on the pamphlet, due to rising cost of transportation in America. And it's just like, well, that's not going to change. Like the price is never going to go back down, So yeah, I had to do something.
Yeah, that's true, man. It's not gonna go back. There's just no way, because the minute the prices are set and then they see people are still shipping stuff, paying for it and whatever, it's just let's just keep it at that. Let's make this like the standard. That's
Dude.
pretty much what it ends up becoming. And it gets frustrating big time.
Well, the craziest thing though is like I think back to February of last year when I started this, that economy shipping cost me $2.50. And
That's
now
crazy.
yeah, dude, now it's $29. Like that's more than 10 times the cost in a year and 2 months. Like, how does it go up that much? That's crazy,
Yeah, that's super crazy. So now, we know you've announced you're coming to California. You're going to be out. How long are you going to be out in California for?
7 weeks, I think.
Nice. And how long has it been since the last time you were in California?
The last time I saw you there at NNL West.
Yeah, that's right. It was at what, 2018 or 17?
I think it was, I don't know. I think it was 2018 or 2019.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like a long time, but the years of everything goes by kind of fast. So
it was a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, under normal circumstances, I probably would have been back to the States probably like twice in between here, now and then,
How do you feel? Yeah. How do you feel? Are you excited that you're going to be coming out here?
Yeah. I feel like 7 weeks is a long time, too long, but it was like Japan just started letting foreigners come to Japan like just a few months ago. So when I started looking at plane tickets, it was kind of like, well, I wanted to leave like in the middle of May, and stay till after NNL West. But I thought, like, if I'm going to be, because plane tickets are crazy high. I mean, it cost me 3 times as much as it normally used to, just for the plane ticket, plus you have to deal with like all these like COVID tests, and it's not just the expensive plane ticket, it's like the tests, just everything, man.
Yeah, it's like you're already like mentally preparing yourself, because there's going to be a lot of waiting, a lot of testing, a lot of this, a lot of that, like drama, that you're just like, fuck, like I'm just trying to fly to the other side.
Yeah, you can't just get on a plane now. You have to pay 3 times more. You have to get a bunch of tests. You have to get tests at the airport. It's like, Jesus. But yeah, I figured if I'm forking out that much money, I might as well come early and do SoCal Open.
Yeah.
And also I was worried that like NNL West would get canceled again, because it's like that's happened 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
So I figured it'd probably be best to like do SoCal Open just in case Edit Out West gets canceled. At least I don't come there and do like 0 shows. So
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna, let's plug in some of the shows. So for you guys that are listening, and we mentioned it before, but we gotta keep promoting this. So SoCal Open is going down May 1st, and it's gonna be out here in the Valley. Gavin is gonna be there. This is gonna be the like pretty much first time vending as
yes,
Lowrider model car parts in California,
yes,
in the United States. So I mean, here in California, especially Southern California, there's a lot of modelers here that build lowriders, and I feel like that's like a center point, especially for people coming up from like San Diego, people even coming from Northern California that can make that trip. It's on a
yep,
Saturday, so I
yep,
mean, definitely plan it out, come out, pick up some stuff there in person. And then if you can't make that drive back home that night, the next day, I mean, you still got the next day. But it's going to be awesome. He's going to be there. He's also going to have some displays with his items that you'll be able to see in person. He did mention also the Texas show, so that's going to be taking place May 21st. Plastic thrown by the Plastic Society in Texas, and then NNL West will be June 11th. That'll be in Northern California in Santa Clara Convention Center. So that's 3 shows right there, man. Like,
yep,
definitely take advantage. I wish that I could go to all 3 of them. I could only do one, but
yeah.
I mean, for the
I'm
most
not
part,
I'm
it'd
not
be dope.
positive I'm gonna do the Dallas show yet, but most likely I will. But I haven't bought the ticket. I haven't reserved the booth, but it'll probably happen.
Yeah, yeah. Just follow your instincts. Once it's coming up, you're gonna get pumped. You're gonna be like, you know what? We're gonna go. We're gonna be there. It's
Yeah,
I mean, but if you can, if not, it's understandable. If anything, look at it as like this is another introduction to people that are gonna see you, to get to meet you, to get to
yeah,
see your products. And like listeners that are listening to the podcast, I want them to know, like, you like this is rare. This isn't like you're coming out here all the time doing this. This is like, you haven't been out here in a while. You're coming out, you're bringing in product that people want for sure.
yeah,
Those times that you have, I've gotten product from you to sell at shows, especially the SoCal Open and other shows. Dude, your stuff sells out like
nice,
completely, like right
nice.
away, bro. Like people come through, they already know because I'm already telling them I'm gonna have these items only at the show, and no reservations. Like just first come first serve, whatever. Just come through, and they're there.
Yeah,
And yeah, people come through, and I would say probably like by 11 noon, they're completely gone. And it's funny because some people would come up and be like when I got some of those chrome steering wheels with the chain,
yeah,
they saw them and they were like, "Oh, these are nice." And then they kind of just put them back, like, "Oh, I'm gonna do the rounds and come back," I guess, to make, like, to think about it. And in my mind, I'm already going like, "Oh, those are gonna be gone." Like by the time this person goes, they're gonna be gone, and I'm not holding anything, you know. And then yeah, later they come back and they're completely gone. Like I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't got them. They're done." But you can get them you can order them, from the website. And I mean, now this is going to be awesome for you because, like you said, in May, the items will be stateside, so somebody will be handling
yeah,
them for you.
yeah.
So
And people already know I'm coming and know there's going to be local shipping, and like I'm already getting people trying to pay me now for stuff. But yeah, but it's like I'm not taking payment for anything until I actually land in California, because like who knows what's going to happen.
yeah, yeah, no, play it safe. I remember Hank a long time ago telling me, he said, like when he was doing the wheels, and he
Yeah,
was like, I remember there was a time where he did the wheels and then he was going to do another batch and he was taking pre-orders.
yeah,
And I remember him telling me, "Hey man, it's a trip because I'm taking pre-orders and the deposit, I think it was only like, I think it was $20 deposit." And his words were like, "It's a trip how the minute someone, gives you 20 or whatever the amount is, the money for the deposit,
Yeah.
it's like they own you, because he was like, they keep hitting me up like, yo, what's the status? What's up with my wheels? They kept
Yeah.
hammering it to him, and he got, I'm pretty sure that frustrated him a lot. He didn't voice it or anything. He's super chill dude, but
Yeah.
I mean, he was telling me like, man, it's a trip, and I know things like that can make someone, can make it not be fun. Where a point where you're like, you know what, I'm out, or I don't want to do this, but play it safe. I mean, just when you're here and everything, and then bam, handle business from there.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, I'll do SoCal Open, and then that night or the next day I'll update the website with what inventory is left, and then announce it then, and people can just order through the site, and that's it.
Yeah. If when you started, do you remember like how many items you had on the website, like when you just launched?
Like 10 maybe. Yeah, it's up to like, well, the max is 50 unless I want to pay extra each month for the website, but I've just been deleting stuff that's tired and replacing it with something new.
Yeah. What was it hard for you to kind of retire some items, to bring in new items, or were you kind of like, you know what, I'll take these off for now, and maybe in the future I'll bring them back?
Nah, man, it gets low and I just take it off and take that pile and throw it in my personal stash. So it's like the next thing that's gonna go is the side shields. I'm bringing like 4 to sell.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and like the rest I just threw in my personal stash, and those will be gone. Um, you know,
And from now, and I mean, at the time, so you already said when you started. Right now, at this point, what would you say an estimate of how many products you've already have had out now?
I don't know. I have no idea, dude. I
Like
mean,
20, 30? Because there's a lot, bro. Every time I go on the site, I'm like, damn, there's like so many different things on there.
yeah. And it's like I mean, I don't even announce things anymore, especially now with the shipping the way it is. It just isn't worth it. But I just secretly kind of sneak the stuff in, dude. Um, but yeah, I mean, once things gets going, like in stateside shipping, it'll change. Like I've got a list. I've got about 17 different things I want to start working on as soon as I get back. And like I'll get the chrome stuff done first. And while that's being plated, I'll work on the stuff that sells raw, and then restock if I have to of existing things. And then send that stuff to America. And that's when I know like how things are going to be going after that. Like
Yeah.
if I've got some new products and they're announced available and in the States, like, that's going to be awesome, because like right now when I announce something, nobody cares because the shipping's too expensive, which is totally understandable.
No, yeah,
uh,
yeah. So like back before the shipping, before it went up and all, the response was a lot more different. Like when you would, promote like a new item
oh
compared
yeah,
to,
dude.
compared to
I,
now.
I mean, when like the shipping the first month or two was only $6, then it went up and I had to raise it to 10 for the economy shipping. But yeah, I could sell anything, man. I mean, a random set of one-off wheels I can post on Instagram, and people they'll get sold within an hour, because the shipping's only going to be $10 but I can't do that now. Like I can't sell a set of wheels and expect somebody to be okay with $25 shipping, like
Yeah,
it just
no,
doesn't it
yeah.
just doesn't it just doesn't work that way. And
Yeah, it's almost like, let's just say like if a customer was gonna pay like $40, for shipping, it one thing, I mean, I would recommend, let's say for listeners out there that have, like they're in model car clubs and they build lowriders, instead of just being like, I just want to buy one set, two sets, it's probably best to hit up, take account with all the guys in the club and be like, how many do you want? How many do you want? How many do you want? All right, let's all put our money together and let's just put in one order so we all get it shipped in one box, as opposed to everybody shooting out individuals, you know? It,
Yeah.
I mean, that's on them though. But that's something, you know, I would recommend, like for people that are listening, like if they plan, you know, to do something like that, if they needed it like right now in this very moment. But I know things are gonna change within the next coming weeks when you come out.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. We don't have to worry about that now, which is great. But yeah, man,
It's
I'm
gonna,
super excited.
yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome because this is gonna be like, just look at it as like another chapter. Because I mean, the first thing you did was the initiation of the business, starting it, connecting, you know, with the designers for the 3D parts, you know, the chromer, and then later, you know, you pretty much checking each like body quality control, packaging, shipping, like doing all that process. And then
Yeah.
you've had to deal with, you know, all these different obstacles. But now this is like a whole nother chapter. Like by the time you're back from this trip back at home, you're gonna have a different perspective. And I
Oh yeah,
think
totally.
I think a lot of people are gonna probably tell you or ask you in person, like, do you ever plan on making this or that? There's gonna be a lot of ideas and things are gonna just manifest that when you go home, different perspective, and
Yep.
you're gonna be like, trust me, I think a whole lot more designs, things are gonna be coming out, and you're gonna just create this system that's gonna work for you
I
from
think so,
Japan
dude.
to the States, bro. It's gonna happen for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I think you're right, man. I mean, being out here was an obstacle to begin with. Even with the affordable shipping, it was still a lot of people not wanting to order overseas, thinking it's going to get lost in the mail or it's going to take
Yeah.
too long or
Hmm.
or or not even or assuming it was going to be $25 shipping and not even bothering to click to see how much it would be. They just completely avoid it altogether. Which, I mean, that's understandable, dude. I don't blame them. But yeah, it's just the way things go. And I think, yeah, no, you're right. That's exactly what I was thinking. Also, like, you know, with stateside shipping, there's more opportunities, like more opportunity for me to sell even different items too, like Volkswagen stuff, or like the red cat parts. Like I did a bunch of stuff for Andres for his red cat 64.
64, yeah.
And while I did his parts, I did like a few extra sets also, you know. But it's like I couldn't really sell them, man, because I don't have a website with 50 red cat items.
Yeah.
So it's like if if you want one or two of the few items I have, you're not gonna pay the $25 shipping just for a set of Oregon speaker covers or pumps. But yeah, but with domestic shipping, it's like $6. Why not buy these things?
Hmm. No, yeah. Well, one of the wheels that stood out to me that you did was this one that has like spikes, and you
Oh
had posted
yeah,
on Instagram regarding, you know, is that for like hot rods, or I've never seen those
yeah,
wheels
dude.
before.
I don't know. It's like if you Google uh like spoke wheels, that always pops up. It's like a um some hot rod guy back in like the 70s made it out of other hubcap parts. And I don't know, he's like a hot rod guy and made these cars with those hubcaps. But I see people mention them every now and then, like on social media. So I thought it would be fun to make them, but it actually wasn't fun. They were very hard to print, and the like I had them chrome plated, and I couldn't, after I got them back, I couldn't get them off the supports, like without accidentally breaking the tips. So it's like half of them just got pitched in the garbage, and the other half, like, that's when the economy shipping disappeared. And so it's like I haven't even sold a single set of those. I had a couple of people want them, but they, But yeah, hopefully I offload some of those because like that wasn't cheap.
Yeah, that's crazy. And like right now, are you working? Like, do you have a day job, or are you, or this is it? Just the Lowrider Model Car Parts, your website, where you're
This
pretty
is
much.
it, man.
Damn, dude,
Yeah.
you've been doing it, dude. Like, I'm proud of you, man. Like, I still work for my parents. I answer phone calls here at home for the shop. They get forwarded to me, but one of my goals is to transition over into just 100% skill writers, like the online
Yeah.
store and that.
Nice.
And I know that sometimes it could be hard, like just being kind of thrown in that position. Like I know for sure that if let's say I didn't work for my parents, I worked for a company or whatever, and they told me like there's no more work, you're done, go find a job or whatever. And if I was starting off with scale writers, for sure it's going to be a struggle,
Yeah, dude.
and it's like a mental thing, man. Like you have to be very like strong mentally, and I feel like you're one of those people. You're strong mentally, you went through the trenches, you survived, you're here, and I know that a lot of good things are going to come your way, man. I know it
Yeah.
for sure.
What? I'm just stoked because like before COVID, like the work I was doing, I had a ton invested into it and I was making good money and I was already planning on something else, in addition to that. And then COVID just completely ruined it, dude. Like I went from up here to like down here real fast, dude. I mean, it cost me everything.
Dang.
And like, so to be doing this is cool because I enjoy it. I can do it from home. And like, it's, believe it or not, it's actually a lot of work. Like, you know, like some people think you just print stuff, but it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not just printing stuff. Like,
Just
you know,
chilling. Yeah, nah.
yeah, like just to get one wheel to where it needs to be, like it takes weeks of designing. It's, you have to test, like you got to print the thing maybe like 5 or 6 times. You don't know if it's going to last. Like you need to make sure it's going to get chrome plated properly. Sometimes like they get clogged, like the chrome gets clogged in between the spokes,
Mhm.
or sometimes they melt in the chroming process. But like there's a lot of that, and like maintenance on the machines, like cleaning up, even disposing, like it creates a ton of waste, you know,
Yeah.
and like you have to dispose of it properly. Um, Dude, there's just tons, man. But the thing is, though, man, is this is like living in Japan is a completely different lifestyle than America. So, like doing this right now, I could totally live off it because it's like, I mean, we rent like a 4-bedroom house, but dude, our rent's only $750 a month. You know,
Yeah.
like our like we have a car, but it's just a K car. I mean, it was only $6,000 new.
Yeah.
It's
Dang. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's paid for,
Uh-huh.
and it's like, like people in America spend a lot of money on gas. Dude,
Yeah, dude.
I think we filled up the tank in August when we moved into this house, and it's still got half a tank left. I mean,
Damn.
we
Yeah.
spend 30-40 bucks on gas a year. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. It really drive.
you know so it's like, yeah, I mean, the when I was living in the States, like my bills were like 1,500 a month.
Mhm.
Gas, rent, car insurance, like phone bill, all that stuff. It adds up.
Yeah,
But
it's nuts. And like I bet in the beginning the routine was probably kind of a trip, right? Like when you had your job and you didn't have your job and you have all this free time, like you wake
dude,
up and you're like, I mean, you got responsibilities, but still it's kind of like to get adjusted to that. But now I bet you like you go to sleep, you wake up, you got things you got to handle, but when you got your work time, what would you say is like kind of do you have like a set time when you say this is the time that I'm going to devote every day, to your company?
it depends on what's going on. It's kind of like a cycle. Like like the first cycle is like printing the stuff, you know? So like if I need, you know, if like, well, actually, I guess the first cycle would be like the design. So, you know, I'm working with a designer and we finalize something, you know, that takes a week or two. And then the next thing I do is start printing it, you know? So then I print off like a batch or two. If it's wheels, maybe like 3 batches. And it's basically like wake up, you know, I sit on the balcony with my cat and have a couple cups of coffee and check my phone. And then I'll go over to the printer, I'll clean that stuff off, you know, start the next batch, you know, let it dry or whatever. Check my, you know, check emails, you know, glue the parts from the previous stage of the chrome rack. It's, you know, it's like a job, you know, like those, it is, dude, like those chain steering wheels you were talking about earlier. Those are an absolute nightmare, dude. Like each one of those links has a small support attached to it. And I have to cut each one of those supports off one by one. And like if I run a batch of those, it's 2 8-hour days of cutting those supports off and getting them ready for chrome.
Wait, when you cut them off, are you using a file or are you just with nippers, or how are you cutting them off?
I just use like high-end nippers that get really close.
Yeah.
And that's the best I can do. But I mean, yeah, it's 2 8-hour days. It reminds me of like go to a job that you hate. You know, it's like, oh, I gotta spend 8 hours here, you know, but it's like at least that day of work is at home, and it's only 2 days. Like once those things are done with, I get to move on to the easier stuff, you know.
Yeah. I feel like with everything, there's always gonna be a section that we don't like, a section where we're like, oh man, but once you get through that, all right, we're good now.
Yeah. And then like the next cycle is like when the chrome. So once I send the chrome out, I focus on if I have anything that doesn't need chrome, I'll print that stuff. And then tires, I print the tires and white walls too. And while that's happening, I'll be printing like labels for the new stuff. And then once the chrome comes back, it's like 5 or 6 days of, you know, pulling the stuff off the racks, taking them off the supports, and packaging, I guess. And then pictures is another thing I don't like to do.
Yeah. Hey, the ones you take though, they're nice. I mean, you know, and that's the thing that's crazy. Even like, you know, a lot of the photos that I use, they're all stock photos, right? From companies. It's already, here you go, you know, get them.
Yeah.
But I sometimes feel that even by using stock photos, for a customer, they might look at it as like, maybe he doesn't have the item. Like, why is he posting a stock photo, right? And so right now I'm at the point where I feel like I need to get like one of those little boxes, or just because back then I used to have just a piece of paper, a construction board, you know, paper folded, and then I'd have like a big spotlight, and then I just take a photo and I'd be like, cool, for the cars. And I started thinking, oh, maybe I can do that for these parts, but it's just too much for me to do that. So I'm thinking about just maybe going online, ordering one of those little light boxes that's just foldable, that I could just do it on my kitchen table, put the parts in there, photos, and we're done.
Make sure you get an expensive one, man, because that's what I did, and it was a piece of junk. I ended up just ripping the light out, the LED light out of it, and throwing it away, and then making the one I have now out of like paper on a shelf.
Oh man, yeah. No, yeah, I'll check it. Yeah, because I haven't even bought one, but I do see some that are cheap, and I'm like, nah, I don't know.
Don't get the cheap one, man.
Right.
And see if you can make sure the light has like a soft cover over it.
Okay, over it.
You know what I mean? Because like, I don't know, if you look at my photos, you can always see like the LED dots in the reflection of everything.
Oh yes, like on the chrome, on the pieces,
Yeah, dude.
I gotta look now. No, I mean, I didn't notice it, but I'm gonna have to zoom in and like see right there.
Yeah, I gotta upgrade that one of these days.
Yeah, I want to get a box. I remember seeing Willie use one. And when he was taking the photos for like dedicated magazine and whatnot, but
Oh yeah,
I need
yeah,
to follow up with them to see what he, because I remember asking a long time ago, like, what do you recommend? And he had told me about the one he has, but he said, man, there's like so many of them like out
yeah.
there now.
There's a
You
ton,
know,
dude.
yeah, and like that's one of the things I have. It's like I want to take my own photos too to upload, because then if I'm using my own photos, that right there is going to show like I do actually have it. Because in the beginning, I remember getting emails from people being like, "Hey, if I'm ordering this from you, is it coming from you or is it coming from somewhere else?"
Yeah, yeah,
And
like a,
I'm like, "No,
yeah,
no,
is it
no."
like a
I'll be
drop
like,
ship?
"No, I got it. I got the product." And so, I mean, in the beginning, it's cool, taking photos of products like stacked up. Like I love following other like Gundam stores and hobby shops that post like, 50 things stacked up. Like
Yeah,
I like looking at it just because it looks awesome to me. And I mean, whenever back then I was able to do it, I would do it real quick, take a photo. But it's hard right now because my little one's growing up now, and the minute that I'm getting packages in the from UPS,
yeah,
she's already at home, and I'm like, man, I can't even bring this stuff out because she's gonna want to knock it over, or she's gonna want to just grab all these boxes. So I'm kind of like, damn, I kind of chilled on it. But then again, I don't know. Sometimes I get kind of weirded out because I start to feel like I don't want to give people the wrong impression, like I'm trying to flex. like I'm trying to be like, yo, look, I got 100 of them. Like, no, I'm not even trying to do that. If anything, I'm just trying to like sell them, like
yeah.
people buy them. That's what it is. But I
You
don't know. It's just kind of a trip with that.
you got a lot of different product though, man. That's a lot of photos to take.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I'd probably narrow it down to like just the smaller stuff, like the detail parts. Like start there and
Yeah.
slowly like do the other stuff. But yeah, man, it's scary. Like right now, like for the SoCal Open, what I've been doing every night is taking the time to print labels like with the barcode, so I could scan each item
Oh yeah, yeah,
for my
yeah.
app, because I'm using Shopify. And what's happening is that I'm printing all these labels, but now I have to take the time to grab each piece and like slap a sticker on it. Dude,
Oh
that
yeah, yeah.
that takes hours. Like I'll put some music on and I'm like, all right, I'll do this for like a couple hours. Next thing you know, 3 hours already went by. And I'm like, yo, I gotta stop. I gotta go to sleep. Like this is like too much. And I'm sitting down, so I feel
Hey,
glued to the chair.
can you use the like the UPC code that's on the box already? Or
I probably could, but I would have to enter that in the system, like
oh,
manually.
like type the numbers in?
Yeah, I would have to type it all in. So pretty
Uh,
much, I mean, it's easy to generate the barcode on it because it does it for you. You just select the items and it generates one for you, like a unique one for it for each item. But the thing is, what takes time is just putting the sticker, the label on it all the
yeah,
time.
dude.
And it's like, damn. So I've been like already pretty much setting aside what I'm going to be taking to the show. And that stuff that I'm taking, I'm only barcoding that stuff
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
because I can't do the rest, man. It's going to drive me nuts. I'm just like, I just got to do this. So now what I'm going to try to do is whenever I get new stuff in the mail, I'll just try to label that like within that week, label all that stuff,
Yeah.
get it out of the way. And the only reason I'm doing the labeling is for the shows, because I have friends who use the same software, and when they vend, they tend to close their store online. They'll close it,
All
and they'll go
right.
vend. And then when they come home, they have to do inventory, and then they reopen it.
Which which is exactly what I said earlier that I'd be doing.
Yeah, dude, and I mean, and it's tough because you end up sometimes selling something that you have on the site, and then later somebody orders it on the site, and you're like, oh crap.
Yeah,
I'm kind of like
exactly.
stuck. And I've had that happen to me. The last show I did, that happened to me. I sold like a Zoom on product, a muffler, and later I got an order on the site. I'm like, damn, I never scanned it. I forgot to scan it, and I had to just refund the dude because I couldn't get those quick.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, like besides bringing product in, what else are you going to be bringing in with you?
Well,
Some models, right?
yeah, bring in 6 builds.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
I don't know if I'm gonna like actually enter them in contests. The a few of them are definitely I'm bringing for my table,
Mhm.
just to show off the parts, like the 50 Chevy and the 39 Chevy, because they're both loaded with my parts. So I want those there so people can see how they look when they're used. You know?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea right there to have those on display on your table so people get to see. I
Yeah.
might bring a build as well just to kind of display there at the show. Nothing crazy, but if anything, just to the I use splash paint and the splash clear on that car, so I'd
Oh
probably
yeah.
just bring it just for that. So this way, because I always get questions about that, like about the clear, and I can just show it
Oh yeah.
there. But is it a trip for you? Like now you're creating all these parts. Like how you said, you could like create all these parts for like ever now because you have the files and everything. But is it a trip when you look at your cars now, how they're fully loaded with all these accessories, photo
Well,
edge? It looks
I
like
mean,
a realistic car, miniature.
it's that's the only reason I even started doing this, because it's like that's how I wanted my builds to look. But it's you could never find those parts. Nobody makes, bumper guards for these cars.
Hmm.
Nobody like does passing lamps. You know what I mean? And like I don't blame them, honestly. Like there's not a whole huge market for it. I mean, there's a market for it, but those things aren't flying out the window, man. Like the stuff that sells is the wheels. That's what keeps us going.
Yeah.
But all the other stuff is just a bonus for like the people that do want it. And for me, it's for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, it's, I mean, I did some 39 Chevy parts originally because I was planning on building a 39 Chevy at some point. But then when I started building one, I was like, wait, I need some other stuff here. I'm going to need some fender blinkers, and I'm going to need a passing light, and I'm going to need the A bar for the bumper guard set now. So now it's like, if you're building a 39 Chevy, I have everything for it. But yeah, it is cool to see. But like I'm looking forward to seeing other people use them too. Like I see my thermidors every now and then and like bumper guards, but I want to see more stuff. Like I want to see somebody doing a 39 Chevy with all my parts on it.
Yeah, damn, dude, that's so dope. Like when you look back at when you started and you started doing your cars or Lowrider cars, did you ever think that back then, like thinking in the future, like that I'm gonna be owning a company creating these parts?
No, but it's no. I mean, wait, like you mean like 3 years ago or 20 years ago?
20 years ago, like back then when you
No,
were
no,
doing the Lowrider stuff out here in California.
no. But back then, like there were some guys around doing like casting bumpers with bumper guards on them. So they were around a little bit. Um, but no,
That's a trip,
um,
dude. Then now you're doing
yeah,
when you're gonna be out here in California, are you gonna be staying in Southern California or Northern California?
Southern California.
Oh, nice. So how far are you gonna be like from LA?
Uh, well, my mom's place is out in a town called Menifee.
Okay,
Yeah, it's like near Temecula, I think.
right
I think
on.
it's Riverside. I think it's Riverside County.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like BFE, man. It's out there. But
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
say
yeah.
it's I think it's like 70 miles from LA.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, because yeah, it's like if you're pretty much headed to like San Diego.
well, I mean, yeah, if you went east
Before.
for 50 miles first.
Yeah. I think you're gonna be pretty close to Dutch. He's on Instagram, he's Dog 3 Models.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Man, you guys
Yeah,
should link up. He's also a 3D printer model builder. He's gonna be there, dude,
yeah.
at SoCal Open. So
Cool.
I'll give him a heads up. It'd be dope. I'd like for you guys to meet up, like to meet in person at the show, you know?
Yeah.
Dutch,
Yeah.
Dutch's
I've
been on the
messaged
show
with him.
too, and he's a cool dude.
I messaged with him a few times. I wanted one of those the short beds for the 72 Chevy truck.
Yeah.
He was casting those for a while.
Oh,
I
nice,
never
nice.
yeah, I never got one though. I was well, that was like right when COVID started,
Yeah.
and like I shut down my businesses here, and I thought, well, I guess I'll go to America and do a trip. But then like there was no airplanes. You
Uh,
know? Yeah, I was gonna pick it up from him like in person, but I
mhm.
never made it there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this time, I mean, like you said, as far as the time you felt like, man, I might be out there. It feels like a long time, but I feel like it'll be a good enough time for you to be out here. You get to spend time with the family. You get to
Yeah,
travel because that's another thing. You're gonna be traveling to these shows and whatnot, and you're also gonna need some days to kind of rest up and chill.
yeah,
And then chill with the fam, and then eventually at some point you'll have some downtime where you'll be like, you know what, I'll go over here or go meet up. So that'll be pretty dope.
yeah,
I'll see
dude.
what's up. I gotta look up how far you're gonna be because I was gonna say it'd be kind of cool if we would meet up as
Yeah,
well.
that'd be dope, man.
That'd be outside of the show. Like I'm just saying, like hang out, go get something to eat or whatever.
Yeah, dude.
That'd be
Armando mentioned something about me coming by the garage at one point, so maybe we
Yeah,
can.
in Burbank. Right on, dude. You should,
Yeah,
man. Definitely. I mean, you
yeah,
should
dude.
you should take him on that invite for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, because I mean, you're definitely you want to go home, with memories and stuff like that, experiences and just various like things, dude. Because like I
Yeah.
said, man, you're gonna go home and later we're gonna see all these new products and more things coming out, more exciting things.
Yeah. That's what I'm most excited about. And it's like the list, I got as far down the list as I could, like before I got to the point where I had to send this chrome out to have it ready for this trip, you know. But like I want to finish the list. I want to keep going and creating these other products, but I can't, dude. I just have to stop, go to California, and resume when I get back.
Yeah, and when you're doing like the 3D printing or you're waiting on parts to be printed, is that the time when you decide to like step away and like work on your model car builds?
Pretty much, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, dude. Um, yeah, that's exactly what I do. I mean, that and like I kind of take care of the house, like clean and stuff, because my wife works basically 9 to 5 job now. And so yeah, dude, like I do housework.
Hey, you
um,
gotta do it.
yeah, laundry, whatever, dishes. And yeah, dude, models and whatever needs to be done with the printing stuff, you know. And there's like, I don't design this stuff myself. I gotta hire a designer, and like it makes it a little. The reason I do that, by the way, is because I don't have a computer that's good enough to run any of the programs,
Hmm.
and like so I just never bothered to learn. And like to buy a computer with those kind of specs here is going to cost me like $3,000-$4,000, and like I don't want to. That's not worth it, I don't think.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like working with those, like having to like explain what's inside my head to somebody, like if I was just walking up to the computer and designing the stuff myself, I wouldn't have to think about it. I would just like move that one part over a little bit.
Hmm.
But I have to explain it to somebody else who's not not really like a car enthusiast in the first place, like, he doesn't like care about cars, but he's figuring it out. Like, I've been working with a guy this whole almost 2 years, but um
It could be tough, I bet.
yeah, it is, dude. It's like extra work to like get him to understand what I'm trying to do. And it's weird, like when you print stuff in scale, it's like, you can have an exact 3D replica of a wheel, but once you print and chrome it in 1/25th scale, like it might look totally off. It could be an exact replica, but it doesn't look real.
Mhm.
And like sometimes you just have to like tweak something to make it, like work and scale. It's weird, dude. I don't know why, but
Yeah, it happens. Those are like the trials, right? And you're like,
it
oh
is,
man,
dude.
gotta go
It is,
back.
man. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
That's a trip. But I mean, I'm glad, I'm happy that you're doing all this stuff. I think a lot of people that support you, they know like what's up, especially when they hear this. Because yeah, it's hard, man. It's not easy, it's not like any else. Like everybody would be doing it if it was easy, but it's not an
It's
easy
not,
thing.
dude. I mean, it's like if I had to like say I decided to sell this business. If I had to explain to somebody how to do all this stuff, it would take forever. Like, here's how to use a 3D printer, here's how to clean them up and prep them for chrome, here's how to, package it, here's the website. Like, it's almost it's almost like I spent a year like on the job training. Like,
Yeah, for real. Dang, that's
I mean,
crazy.
all of it's new, and like the printing, man, there's a learning curve there, dude. It's not easy. Like, the printer, it doesn't even come with a manual. Like, you just have to
Mhm.
figure it out yourself.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a printer right now, but I want to buy one in the future. I don't have the space or the time to set that up and get it going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of, even in my mind, like not scared, but I'm a bit intimidated by it right now. Like, because I'm not aware of what the hell to even do, you know?
Yeah, man. And it's pretty gross too. Like, it's not, I don't know, man.
I mean,
You like
I've
if
had
you
some friends tell me that there's like a smell or like a scent it leaves behind. One friend of
Yeah,
mine was like, "Yo, I gotta take a break because that shit's hurting my lungs." I don't know.
some of those resins are kind of harsh, dude. And supposedly they're toxic. You can like um develop an allergy from it. And
Yeah.
it's like you don't want to eat it or anything. Like, if
Mhm.
you have a kid, and I have a cat, it's like you got to be really careful you don't actually accidentally like drip some on your clothes,
Mhm.
and not see it, and then it gets like wiped on the kid or the cat,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, you really got to be careful of that too. And it's like,
But
yeah, dude, it's gross. And it's like if you have a failed print and like you have to clean the bed, like you have to deal with this vat of like gooey toxic, stuff, dude. And it's
mhm.
like,
Do you wear a mask when you're using the 3D printing stuff, or just kind of
uh,
open the windows and stuff?
I don't even I don't even do that. It's the the printer's in a room that's basically like, um I mean, the only thing that happens in there is the printer.
Mhm.
And there's a toilet room in there too. So sometimes we walk through to use the bathroom,
Mhm.
but it's other than that, like nobody ever goes in there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
no, I don't. I just and the smell doesn't bother me, but some people are super sensitive to it.
Yeah,
Uh,
everybody is definitely gonna be like different to it, because I still remember like the first time going to a Coast Airbrush
yeah,
and walking in the paint store. My friend took me in there, and I'm in there, and within like 10 minutes my head started fucking hurting bad. Like I felt like my head was gonna pop. The pain just started intensifying, right? And it was all these fumes that I was
yeah,
smelling for the first time, especially like urethane paint. I had never been around it, and I had to step outside for a while to get some fresh air.
Yeah,
And
dude.
then when I came back in the second time, I mean, I was tolerating it a little bit more better, but still I couldn't hang. And then
Yeah, dude.
after that, the more I would go to that store, the more I was like more immune to it, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, this is chill. But then I remember one time I bought a house of color, like the enamel. Well, it's like a paint for pinstriping.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
And I
one shot.
remember, dude, I remember I took it to the flower shop, and we were getting ready to close the store, and I figured, oh, perfect. I'm gonna be here by myself in the back. I'm gonna like practice pinstriping. I'm not and all this and that, right? And my dad is still at the shop, and he walks to the very front of the store, and he's locking up the door, and I'm in the back, and I'm like looking at the clock, like, all right, it's time to close. I pop open the can, I get the brush, I start paleting it, and dude, like, to me, the smell of it, I mean, I'm like whatever to it,
Yeah,
like almost to the point where I'm like, I kind of like the smell.
yeah,
But I remember my dad, like he smelt it, like it just like it went all the way to the front,
yeah.
and he smelt it, and he's all like, "Hey, I don't think you should be painting in
Yeah.
here, or what are you doing?"
As a flower shop, man, put that shit away.
Yeah, he's like, dude, he's like, my head's already hurting, you know, and he's like, I know we're closing, but what if the smell stays here, and what if
Yeah.
customers are gonna come in? It's just gonna smell like crazy, right? So I was like, oh shoot. So I ended up putting it away, and I didn't do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, my dad
No, man.
he couldn't handle it.
When I was in high school, I was like 14. I got my first job at a florist, a flower shop, and it was like just like a kiosk or whatever in a parking lot. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, like a little shack kind of thing in the corner of a parking lot.
Yeah.
And it was like the only employees were the owner, his old friend from back in the day. They used to be like raging alcoholics together, and then me, some 14-year-old kid. So like so his buddy was still an alcoholic, and he chain smoked cigarettes. So he'd be sitting there, he'd close the flower shop, but he'd be sitting in there like in this little kiosk, like chain smoking cigarettes with all these flowers in there, you know? And it's like I come in to open the next day, and like the whole place, even the flowers, like stink like cigarettes. It's like, dude, like it's a flower shop, man. Like, like smoke outside or something. Like why?
Yeah, that's crazy. I used to get mad whenever like we would open our door, and then somebody would just get out of their car and just start smoking, like like dude, 5 feet away from our door, just right there. And all this smoke is just traveling in the store. And I would always have to come out and tell them, like, I'd have to tell them, like, hey man, like, can you take it over there? Like, all your smoke's coming in the store. And it's a flower shop. Like no one, like no one's gonna come in here and buy any flowers if it
Yeah,
smells like smoke.
exactly. Isn't is that a law in California? I know, like when I lived in Seattle, you had to be like 25 feet away from a door to smoke.
Yeah, it is, but a lot of people don't really do it. Like
Yeah. Well, it's like I don't even get that, because it's like when you're in Seattle, you're in a city. Like you
mhm.
can't be 25 feet away from a door. There's doors everywhere. Like,
Yeah, because I would always see in that shopping center, like a lot of the employees that work at like a grocery store, they would just literally be like where the shopping carts are at, like just
Yeah.
sitting down like on a little sidewalk smoking, like still wearing their apron and all that. And they're really close to the door, and no one's telling them anything either.
Oh,
So yeah, I
it's
mean there's a law for sure, but it's not, I don't know. I think people just look the other way, or like whatever about it.
yeah.
But but yeah, it sucks, man. When it was going in, I'm like, what the hell? You can smell it really bad. That's, that's funny.
Yeah, man, that's like the last place you want cigarette smoke like happening.
Yeah, it's crazy too because sometimes like I'll when I order packages of just if I'm ordering like a vinyl record, a CD or whatever, um, like I'll get the box and sometimes they'll wrap it in bubble wrap or put the little popcorns in there, and I'm like, oh, dope, I could use this, let
Oh,
me let me recycle it. I don't
yeah.
want to throw it away. I could still use this in a package. But I remember not too long ago getting a one in and I opened it up and dude, like the bowl wrap fucking smelled like cigarette. And I was like, God damn, like this fool must smoke in his pad or whatever. And I'm
Well, that's
like,
like
I can't use this. I threw it away. I had to throw that stuff away.
it's so different in America, like the cigarette situation in America than here, because like in America, like every city is outlawed it. You can't smoke anywhere. I doubt I don't even think there's even like a restaurant or bar left in America that you could still smoke in. Is there? Do you think?
Nah,
Maybe in the
nah,
South or something.
nah.
No,
I
but
mean,
like here it's you know, I mean you've been here before. I don't know if you noticed, but there's like cigarettes are happening everywhere, you know.
yeah.
It's like bars, restaurants, out in front of the convenience stores. You remember seeing all the guys hanging out in
Mhm.
front smoking?
Oh yeah, dude. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm. That's a trip.
Yeah.
Right there, like where you live, is there like a lot of hobby stores that you kind of just walk over to and like just check stuff out from time to time?
Yeah, dude. Well, I live um like I don't know, 1 kilometer away from Nipponbashi. So uh you've been to Tokyo, you've been to Akihabara, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Osaka version of Akihabara. It's called Nipponbashi, and it's got a bunch of it's got like a 6-story vault hobbies. It's got Joshin is where I usually go. Um, that's 5-story high. There's a bunch of yellow. There's like 2 or 3 of those yellow submarine places.
Yeah. Dang.
Um,
I
yeah,
bet when I was out there in Akihabara, there was
yeah,
I remember around in that area there was one of those the yellow was it submarine that you just said?
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Akihabara and Nipponbashi is where all the hobby shops like are in
Dang.
Tokyo and Osaka. It's like where
Yeah.
the maid cafes are and stuff. Yeah, dude, it's cool because it's like they got everything I need, man. Like
Mhm.
all the tools, all the
Yeah.
paint. The paint's the best part because it's like that guy note stuff. I love that paint,
Man,
and it's
I tried connecting with the guy notes, and damn, dude, I cannot get that. It just seems like such a challenge.
you
Like,
know, Volks has a Volks USA website. And
mhm.
that might be why they might have like an exclusive deal with them or something.
Maybe I've hit them up direct so many times and I never gotten a response once. Like
Dude, that would be
since
epic.
since the beginning, since when I started. Like,
Really?
yeah, ever. But
You
I mean, I'm not, I'm not giving up. But in the future, if something ever transpires, I mean, I definitely carry their stuff.
Yeah, man. That's the
But
good stuff, dude. I love it.
yeah,
It's lacquer. It's like the real lacquer too. It's not like
mm,
acrylic lacquer. It's the good stuff. And
yeah,
I love it, man. It's so forgiving and it dries quick. And
mhm,
dude, the colors are awesome. I think they're up there with House of Color,
yeah,
vibrancy and pigment, everything, man. The only thing that I hate is that they're purple. Their purple's
mhm,
horrible. The clear
yeah,
purple.
uh-huh.
Yeah. That stuff's no good, but
Oh
all
man,
their other colors, man, I've loved.
yeah, yeah. Because Guy Notes is definitely like a product that I've seen other hobby stores like carry them, but it just kind of tripped me out that I'd be hitting them up and not being able to get through to them. Like, they have like forms and things to fill out on their website for them to hit you back, but I never got a hit back at all.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna give
They,
up.
yeah. They might have been having like supply chain issue problems too, because like I went to go get paint for that 39 Chevy. It was supposed to be orange and cream, but they were out of orange and cream. The Gaia Notes shelf was like 90% empty. So that's why that Chevy is pink. I just use what I had on hand. But yeah, might be something like that too.
Yeah. How many years have you been living out in Japan now for?
7.
Wow, that's cool, man. I mean, you're in a good position, bro. Like I definitely want to go back. You know, I keep telling my fiance that I want to go like next year, and we should I want to bring my baby with me too out there.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of different. I want to. You know, they've never traveled out there, obviously, but I want to come back. I want to see places. I want to see, you know, the model car shops and just
Oh yeah.
all the various things that are out there, the food, you know, it's very fascinating, like seeing all that. It was funny, like on Twitter, I found there was like this account I came across that whoever runs that account, it's almost like they travel around Japan taking photos of like the hobby shops, and they're posting them, almost like listing them, you know. And I was like, what the heck? Like this is pretty crazy. And
Yeah.
I was talking to Casey with Slowly Models about it. I was like, yo, trip on this account. And he was checking it out. And then I remember later I found this one link, and there was a gas station, and inside of the gas station they had a hobby store in it. So
Was it a gas station or a convenience store?
I believe it was a gas station because I could see pumps right there.
Really?
And I try to find the link because there was a video behind it, and I think they were interviewing people like for it. And I remember I saw the video and I sent it to Casey, and I also sent it to Cam, to Kiwi Hobbies, to check it out. They were tripping out, and we were just joking about it, saying like, man, you know how cool it is, or just to be like to get out of the house to get gas, and then next you know you're in there just buying supplies and maybe a model kit.
You know what? Like the gas stations here, like don't sell anything. So I think that's weird. But you know what? I bet it was a like a rest area.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, because like you got to pay to drive on the highways here, right? So it's kind of like the toll roads, like in like Chicago or like in Illinois and New Jersey and stuff, where like you know if you get off the freeway, you have to like pay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they keep you on the freeways with those rest stops, have restaurants, gas pumps, stuff like that. It's the same thing here. So maybe
Yeah.
that's what it was. They
Yeah,
have all kind.
I need
They're
to
cool,
find
dude.
it.
They got all kinds of stuff in there, like different restaurants, and like I could totally see them selling model kits in one of those places for sure, dude. They sell gifts. They're super clean, dude. Like the like the toilets, they have like this area for the truckers, you know, where it's like showers and toilets. And like as an American, like you think of the rest areas in America, like which are you know horrible, dude.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're
Like
terrible.
you don't even want to walk in there, you know. But these ones are super clean, dude. It's like they have the washlet toilets and like everything's sparkling clean. They're super nice, man.
Yeah.
But it's
And
really expensive to drive on those things. It's like from Osaka to my wife's parents' house. I think it's like a 4-hour drive, and dude, it's $120, man.
and that's like one way or both ways.
Yeah, that's each way. Yeah. Yeah, man, it's crazy. And that's actually a discounted price too, because it's a K van, you know, so you get a little bit of a discount.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. I didn't know it was like that, you know.
Yeah, dude.
That you have to
I've
pay.
accidentally, like I've been driving alone and accidentally got on them before, and it's a $10 mistake, man. I got to pay, like, you know, I have to pay to get off of the next exit, and the minimum is $10. It's like, damn, dude.
Yeah. Took a wrong turn. Fuck.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. And
Yeah.
Is there was one of your builds that you had posted. There was a yellow one that you were saying you weren't feeling it. What was it that you weren't feeling about that build?
The front end, it was too Ford. It just looked like too much of a Ford.
Yeah,
I like the back end. I like the fenders, but the front end, dude, the hood is shaped weird. The grill is just, I don't know, man. I, it's a Ford. That's why, dude, because it's a Ford.
yeah. It's almost like when you set that car up in your display, you're gonna just so you can see it from the rear, right, or from the side corner.
It's yeah. The my builds are in like little display cases that I put on a shelf. So like you either see the front or the back end, and yeah, dude, that one's definitely got the back end sticking out.
Yeah,
Man, I thought
like I
that
don't
thing
want
was
to see
gonna be.
the front.
I thought it was gonna be so cool when I started that build.
Mm.
Like I'm gonna build a Ford. It's gonna be a lowrider Ford, and then I finished it. And was like, dude, this is why nobody lowrides Fords, man. Like they're not. It just doesn't look right, you know.
That's funny, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
And before we wrap up this episode, I want to know what are your. I mean, you've kind of already mentioned about May, what's going to be going down, but is there any other like plans, aspirations, things that you want to make happen this year in 2022?
I just want to get the trip done with and get back and start working on new stuff. Honestly, like that's what I want to do. Um, like I already feel like I'm being held back because it's like I'm not starting anything new like now, and I'm gonna have 7 more weeks of not doing anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Um,
you're
so
right.
yeah, I'm looking forward to coming home and like starting more new products and getting them sent to America and seeing how that all goes, see how that all pans out.
Yeah, when is the date that you're going to be arriving to California?
I'm so exactly 1 week. I'll be at the Tokyo airport waiting for my connecting flight. So uh, basically 1 week and 12 hours from now. So I think that's the 27th of April.
Nice, nice. Dang. So once you get here, get settled in, and then you got some days till the show, till your first show out here.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to be, my sister's picking me up from LAX and I'm going to stay at her place in Orange County for, till SoCal Open. That way I'm closer to Chatsworth.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, in those days, I'm just going to like, because it's a lot, that's 24 hours of traveling. So I'm basically just going to like get tacos and eat them, take a shower and sleep.
Hmm.
And then, the next day, get like go get a SIM card for my phone. Um, you know, do whatever else I need to do, I guess. Relax. I don't know.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I know. You're gonna be vending. I'll be vending. And
Yeah.
sometimes I know sometimes it gets tough to leave the booth because you got all your stuff there. I'm hoping that
Oh,
one of my friends comes over to help me to vend. So this way, when I want to take a break or something, I could come through and say what's up. I know we'll see each other in the early morning, but like during the show, I think it'd be kind of cool to just come check you out.
yeah.
You know.
I'm at, I was planning on taking like 1 hour off, just kind of hiding everything under the table and locking it up,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
just, doing my rounds, checking out the builds on the tables and
Mhm.
the vendors too, because there's a couple of kits I want to get a hold of,
Yeah.
and I don't want to do it at like I don't want to try to find them at NNL West
Mhm.
because if I don't find it, like I leave, 4 days after NNL West. So if I
Yeah.
don't get them at NNL West, I'm not going to get them at all. It's
Damn.
kind
Yeah.
of
No.
too
Yeah.
close.
I mean, it's a good idea. There's nothing wrong with it. I think take advantage of what you need to do because obviously they're going to see cars that are set up. you know, because I feel like I've missed things the last couple shows I've done where
Yeah.
I wasn't even able to get any content. I wasn't able to really. I took some photos, but I wasn't really able to take the time to record video, get in there, and which were things that I was doing prior to vending. I had all this
Yeah.
free time, so now it's just, you know, I miss it, and I need to find that balance to get back in there. But for you, you know, make the most of it coming out here within your trip.
Have you um you've been to the SoCal Open at that location before, right?
Yes, yeah, I've been there. I want to say, even with not vending, I'd probably say I've been there maybe like 5 times, 5 different times.
Okay. So with NNL West, like I know that layout, and like my biggest fear is getting stuck at like one of those tables all the way in that back corner. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about? Like,
uh-huh.
you know what I mean? Like when you walk in the entrance, and if you go all the way to the wall and then take a
Yeah.
left,
Hmm.
like dude, if I get stuck down there, man, that's gonna be harsh.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Um,
the thing with the layout here, it's pretty much like, just think of like a gymnasium, like where they play basketball.
okay.
So
Well,
the,
I mean,
the courts are like, you know, they're obviously lifted or whatever, or they're just, I don't even think I even look at the rim or anything like that. Like they're put away. But they have, there's multiple entrances and exits. So they have, I would say, maybe like three entrances and exits.
okay.
So it's set up, I would say, like an L shape. So the meaning the vendors are set up like an L shape, and then the opposite end is like a stage where they have the awards,
Oh, okay.
speakers, a microphone set up, and then the other side that would complete, let's say, like the box, it's pretty much where the table is, where they have you know, like the photographers that are taking photos for the magazines, like Model
Oh
Cars
yeah, yeah.
magazine. Most likely they'll be there. They were there the last time. And then Art Lasky has his section where he's also vending with his stuff. But then he also has the check-in area where people, when they walk in, they
Oh
check
yeah,
in
yeah.
with him so they get all their paperwork. And then in the center area is where there's just rows of long, like, tables. So they might be like, I don't know if it's 5 or 6 rows,
Okay.
but we're all enclosed, all in there. So we'll be able to see each other. It's not like, I mean, N&L is just huge, you know?
Yeah, dude.
It's super huge. So I mean, this one, it's probably maybe half or a little bit less than half of like that big room that's at, you know, N&L West. But I people do the rounds. People, when they, whatever angle they come in, they make their way. And
Cool.
I know for sure, like, you being there and people knowing, bringing that awareness that you're going to be there, and if you have your banner or whatever set up,
Yeah.
I think in the distance, the minute people walk in, they're just going to shoot right over to you. You know, if they're looking for wheels and the other parts, definitely hit that first. You know, I would recommend, like, don't sleep on it.
Yeah. Cool, man. Because I just remember like being at NL West that last time, and I remember the guys like out in that corner, and like I kind of felt bad for them because there was never anybody over at their tables, you know.
Mhm.
And so I'm just thinking like, God, I hope I don't end up there.
I know.
And,
No, yeah,
and it's
it
like I
is.
can't. Like they said they'd hold a table for me, but
Mhm.
they don't take credit cards. You have to send a check or money order to actually reserve a table. And like I can't get either of those things here. I don't have like checks don't exist here. And
Yeah, I mean,
and like
I've never done the N&L. You know, I was gonna, you know, I remember the beginning of this year before they announced that they canceled it.
uh
I remember, like, well, late last year, getting, you know, just friends hitting me up. Are you gonna do it? The guys from Splash Paints were hitting me up. Are you gonna be out there? And I was like, you know, I don't think I am. You know, I want to, but I don't think so. You know, because it's like it it's like it's hard for me because it happens before a busy holiday of Valentine's, because
oh
it's
yeah,
the
yeah,
end
yeah,
of
yeah.
the end of January, and I can't really be taking too many days off just because there's like preparations and just planning, just things that go on, you know.
Yeah.
And even the times that I've gone to NNL, like I'm there, but I'm thinking about work too, and I feel bad. I'm like, fuck, like I should be back at home or I should be over there working. I don't know, it's weird. Like I've always had this guilt whenever I get to do things like back then, you know.
Yeah.
And now it's a little different now. That's kind of gone away because now the priorities change to the baby and my fiance.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just I never really looked into it, as to submitting. So I don't know what the process is right now.
Check.
I would assume though that them knowing that you're going to be coming out from Japan and all this, they should definitely make an exception to like whatever, reserve a table for you, even if you have to pay up right there, whatever. But
I might I might email them when I get there, and I guess I could email, or I guess I could send them a money order from
yeah, if
the
anything,
States. At least that'll be like 6 weeks in advance, you know.
mhm.
Maybe just kind of try to get a decent table. There, basically all you need is like a check or money order and a reseller permit. You need one
Oh,
of
okay,
those.
okay. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Damn. All right. Yeah, because I mean, most places don't ask for it. Like,
Right.
I wonder if like them obtaining that they even do anything with it, or you just kind of have it just to have it.
They said they're going to ask you for it when you show up.
Hmm.
They're going to ask you for it when you show up. So you have to have
Oh,
it. They won't
yeah,
let you.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I think. I mean, for a lot of things have been changing. I've been noticing on my end, like, I sometimes like I'll see articles or because now like there's a lot of people who have quit their jobs because of COVID or whatever. They lost their jobs and they're starting businesses in the States. And I mean, a lot of people, they're not claiming what they're making.
Oh yeah.
So they're starting to, I think, I don't know if it's already gone to effect, but like Venmo, PayPal, all any kind of like online payment method that you're receiving,
Yep.
like if you're receiving like more than $600, you have to report it now to the IRS.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's just a lot of things that are gonna happen. And I don't know. I mean, there's just there's always different things you gotta like figure out. But I think once you have everything in order, you'll be fine. Like I don't think there's
Well, living in Japan, I don't have to pay. I don't have to do taxes in America no more. I just have to
Mhm.
fill out a form and prove that I didn't make, like, I think it's like $110,000 the year
Yeah.
before.
Oh, that's
So
cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's good.
yes. So I'm good there, but and it, like, as far as the sales tax goes from, American customers, like, the website holds that
Hmm.
automatically. So I don't even have, like,
Yeah,
that's not,
that's the benefit. They collect it and they report it. So
yeah,
yeah, you're cool right there. I think that's the best way to go about it, in that way, because I think any other type of site, you have to collect it and report it.
yeah,
And I mean, you can do it, but then again, that opens up another rabbit hole into like you have to get all these like permits and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, dude.
Yeah, because even like for me in the beginning, I had to. I mean, I have all my permits and everything, but in the beginning, I saw it like as a crazy obstacle. But then the moment I started doing one thing at a time, I started to see, oh shoot, it's working out. It's going kind of faster than I thought it was gonna be. But eventually, over time, I had to pretty much like I decided I want to turn this into like a LLC, like a corporation.
Oh yeah,
And then that's when it's things like that, it starts to get more expensive, doing, because now you have to hire someone to do all this stuff. And then I was like, I want to hire a lawyer to do a trademark for my brand. And
yep,
that's all. But then again, those are always expenses that you write off pretty much. And I don't know. It's just it's things that I saw coming with it, but I think I owe it all to like the flower shop things I learned with that business
Yeah, dude,
model,
that, yeah,
and now I'm applying it to my thing. If anything, right now one of the things I'm looking at is I'm starting to look into like going into a location,
oh yeah,
whether it's like a warehouse or a retail space. That's one of the goals that I have for this year, just to see. I don't know. We'll see, but at the same time, I have to like I'm aware of some of the things about it, but I feel like I still need a little more education on it. You know?
yeah. It's too bad, like in like in Japan, most of these, you walk down the street, most of these shops you see, like little restaurants or whatever it is, like
Mhm.
that's just the first floor of somebody's house, that's their business. And then they live upstairs, like on the second and third floor or whatever.
Yeah, that's
Like
a
like
trip.
too bad America wasn't like that, you know,
Mhm.
where like, you wouldn't have to worry about that. You'd already just like have a shop on your first floor anyways. You just move into that.
Yeah, no, yeah. Because I mean, I like shipping stuff out, and packaging and all that. But I know that, if you have a like either a retail space or just something where people come in, I feel like,
Yeah,
that obviously is gonna bring in more revenue right there.
yeah, yeah. And it gives you a place to like work and store inventory and stuff too,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's another thing too. Like the way I visualize it is like if I had a space, I know I wouldn't be opening at like 9 in the morning and closing at 6. I'd probably open at 11 or noon, but i'd
Sure.
be i'd be there in the morning. But in the morning I'd be like packaging stuff, if I have whatever orders are there, package getting them ready, and then I'd stop and then I'd open for like maybe like 4 hours in the day
Yeah,
and then
like a little
close.
retail.
Yeah, and then once I'm done and then I go, ship the stuff out or whatever.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I would see myself kind of doing, and then just spending time with my family.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I can see it happening. It's just being patient, taking the time until that time comes, I guess, and be ready for it, because once you sign that lease,
you're
there's no
stuck, dude.
you're stuck. There's no turning back,
Yep,
and
yep.
if anything, I'd probably sign if I could sign like a 2 year lease, I'd be cool with that,
Yeah,
because I know that within 2 years, if things go good, I'd probably outgrow the space, and I'd probably want to look for something bigger. And then on that one, I'd probably do like a 5 year
yeah,
lease, and I don't know. I have all these ideas for what I would want to do inside, but it's just gonna depend until I find like the proper like spot for all that.
yeah, dude.
And hey, who knows, man? Let's just say that 2 years from now, I have a retail space or whatever, like, and you come out again, like let's say you fly out from Japan and you're bringing more product. I wouldn't mind having a pop-up where we make an
Oh yeah.
event saying that you're coming out and you're going to be selling your products there, you
Oh,
know
that'd be
and
kind
we
of
can make an
sweet.
event out of it. Like that shit would be dope. I think that'd be
Yeah, man.
dope.
I'll
um
come to work with you 4 days out of the week.
hey, why not, man? Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like, once a space is there, I think there's going to be a lot of possibilities of doing a lot of things, podcasting,
Oh yeah.
pop-ups, maybe even events,
People.
maybe,
Yeah, dude.
you
For
know,
sure.
instead of trying to look around like, where can I have an event? I could if I have enough room, I could probably be like, we have 1,000 square feet to do a show or something, like
Yeah. It,
a
it's like
showcase.
if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
There, like when I came to California like 10 years ago to live, I did RC drift, like radio control car drifting,
Mhm.
and there was no tracks at all in Southern California. But like there was a Mazda shop off the 10 somewhere. I can't remember the name of the town, but they decided to like put all the Mazdas up on lifts and make an RC track on the floor in there, right? And people started coming, and they'd have like a drift night, once a week. And then they decided like, well, hey, since people are coming here, why don't we start selling product? So they got with like some like Yokomo and a couple other drift RC companies. They started selling product, and like 10 years later, you fast forward to now, there's not even a Mazda shop anymore, dude. They gave up on the Mazdas and they gutted that warehouse, and it's all just a RC track and their shop. It's crazy, dude. They have
Damn,
they're open
that is
they're
crazy.
open 5 days. Dude, they're open 5 days a week. I see live footage. They go live on Facebook sometimes. Dude, there's
Mhm.
like 30, 40 guys there driving, man. You
Yeah.
know, it's cool. And it's
That's
like,
nuts.
yeah, it's like they went from working on, wrenching on Mazdas to like turning it into, like an actual RC drift track that 40 people are at on a Wednesday night.
Mhm. Wow,
It's like,
that's interesting. Yeah, you're right. Like, like you said, if you build it, they'll come.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
I look at the map sometimes and I go like, man, like here where I'm living at, what are the nearest hobby shops? And the ones that are there, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing to connect with the community? And
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't see nothing on my end. Like, I mean, they are selling products and all that. That's as far as it goes. It's a retail shop, but
Yeah.
I feel like for me, it goes a bit more, because
Yeah.
it,
With a bigger space, you could do more. You could, you're right, dude. You could do events.
yeah, yeah. Who knows? What if like, there's a model car club that's like, we want to have a meeting or we want to do
That too.
a
Yeah.
build day, a build event. And I'm like,
That too.
let's set it up. There's like buying tables and chairs, isn't expensive. It's just set them all
Right.
up. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it'd be pretty dope to do something like that. I mean, if you go to like a comic book shop out here and you see all these dudes set up with tables and they're playing, Warhammer,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
playing
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh, and
It's like a hangout.
yeah, it's a hangout, exactly. And I'm
Yep.
going like, man, if these guys are doing it, they right there already established a community. Like as long
Yep.
as the customers are coming in and they're having fun and whatever, buying the cards, food, like snacks or whatever, they're all those little things are keeping those lights on. And
Yeah, dude.
and that stuff's gonna just stay there and it's just gonna grow and that community is gonna just keep growing too. And I mean I would want to have a designated area for sure for people to come
That'd
through,
be yeah, that'd be
you know.
sweet, man.
Yeah, and especially, we, like you, like people that come from out of town have something to look forward to, hang out, even do a video, a live video podcast in
Oh
person
yeah, yeah.
together. That that would be really dope. And I mean, maybe we'll be looking back at this video or this interview, like in the future and be like, holy shit, like, because even with Iceman, talking with him, he has a day job, and I know he tells me I wish I had more time for what he's doing. And
Jesus. He has a
I don't know,
I didn't
man.
realize that.
In my mind, I'm like, I tell him, or sometimes when I talk to him, like, online, I go, man, like, when is it gonna happen? When are you ready? When are you gonna quit your job and make this your primary job? And I feel like maybe who knows, in a year, 2 years, or three, like I think if we keep working hard and we set some goals, we'll definitely, within time get there. And it'd be kind of crazy, like to be able to do those things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like,
But what I wonder, like, I don't. You're in Oxnard. That's like on the way. Is that is that Ventura? You're in Oxnard, right?
yeah, well, I moved. I'm right now. I'm in the city of Alhambra, so I'm basically
Oh.
in LA County. So
Oh
I'm like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
15
Okay,
minutes
okay.
from downtown LA, where
Yeah,
I'm at.
okay, dude. Yeah, that's a pretty good area.
Yeah. So if
Something like
anything, like
that.
if I'd start like want to get a space, I'd want something in LA County, like basically
Oh
in
yeah,
the heart, like right here, like either Alhambra, Pasadena, or in San Gabriel Valley,
yeah,
or
dude.
like, there. I mean, this is all like it's a trip to me, man. How like when you're driving around all these like highways and you get to the next city quick, but it's all like part of LA right here.
Yeah, Yeah.
And I mean, Ventura County already has a hobby shop, and the Valley, they have hobby shops out there. But they're, and then the only thing in LA that I would say is a hobby shop, but it's only just Gundam, would be the Neo Happy Land that's in Chinatown.
Oh yeah.
That's about it. But they don't sell
Is that
car
is
things
that
or anything like that.
Chinatown or Little Tokyo?
Yeah, yeah, little. I think it's Little Tokyo. Sorry,
Oh yeah. Okay.
Little
Okay.
Tokyo. So they're there, and then what is the other than that? I think there's some hobby stores headed. I mean, in Pegasus, Pomona, but from LA to Pomona, that's like 2 hours out.
Did they just moved again, right? So
Yes, they moved. I
there-
have not been to the new facility, but from what I heard, I believe it's about maybe like down the street. Like it's not even that far. Maybe 5 minutes or less.
oh, so okay, okay.
And
There, Merino Valley, is that, or am I
Mont,
thinking?
I think it's Montclair.
Oh yeah, Montclair. Okay, yeah,
Montclair, yeah. But like for
yeah, yeah,
me to like head over there, I mean, if there's no traffic, it might be an hour, hour and a half, but with it's gonna be about two
yep,
hours.
yep.
And other than that, there's other hobby stores heading down south, but it's just mostly like Gundam stores from what I've seen, like in Orange County area. Um, but as far as like someone who sells model car kits, I would say it's gonna be Burbank House of Hobbies and Ventura Hobbies. Those are gonna be your only two stores that are gonna really be carrying like car kits.
Huh.
And I mean, I definitely would wanna you know, have something out here. So this way I'm like in a center area to a lot of people,
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then
dude.
again, I think I have all these, just various ideas to want to do something to attract people to come out, you know, and hang out, and if they're looking for something, they can pick it up, they could purchase it
Yeah.
there or whatever,
Well,
or for those that can't make it, just have the shipping option also.
that's the
So
way to do it, though, man.
yeah.
It's a good idea, dude. Have like an event space.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah, I would,
it's
yeah,
like
definitely
it's
have a
now.
the retail side, but also event space side of
Yeah,
it
dude.
too.
Available for anything. You can host a annual contest. You can,
Hmm.
local clubs could come there. Whatever, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually, do you ever to Tamiya? Like, I don't know if it's their headquarters, their offices out in, I don't know, somewhere in Japan. Um, they have like, oh, I think it's where their offices are like their headquarters, right? Their offices.
Mhm.
The first floor is like a modeling place, because most people here live in like tiny little apartments, and they don't have a space to build. They don't have space to put a paint booth or have all those things. So you actually rent like a space. You go there with your kit. You rent a
Mhm.
space for I don't know, 300, like $3 an hour, and you've
Yeah.
got a paint booth. You've got access to all the tools. They might even give you paint. I'm not even sure.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. That's one of the ideas I was having. I was talking with Cam about with Kiwi hobbies,
Oh
because
yeah.
he had lived out in Japan as well, and I
Oh
was
yeah.
I was I was asking him, hey, while you were living out there, did you ever like go to any of these like locations where they would let you could use their booths to paint your
Yeah.
models? Because I've seen photos on Twitter from locations, and people are
Yeah.
showing like, let's say, like 4 or 5 different booths, and they all have the hoses like just all connected going out the window.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like asking him about that, and I was going, yo, like no one's doing that here. Like how dope would it be
It would be.
to set something up? Because it's like, even me, I have my struggles. I don't have, like, I have my booth in the garage, but it's not even set up. But if
Yeah.
I know there's some people that live in apartments, some people might live in a house, but they're kind of crowded. And why not, if they can get away from the house for like a few hours, come over, do a session, and then I
Dude,
make I
I
make some lockers and just keep your stuff in there.
Yeah, I'd be all over it, man. Like I paint indoors,
Mhm.
I got a paint booth and I've got an air conditioner and a heater in that room, but I don't like using it, man, because it like it creates dust, that
Yeah.
paint dust.
Mhm.
And it's like you know, I used to vacuum out the filter every now and then.
Mhm.
But then like that the paint dust, it clogs the vacuum. So,
Uh,
then it's like it's just a never-ending cycle of cleaning the paint dust. Like you clean
mhm.
it out of one place, it's stuck in another. You got to clean it out of there. It goes on and on. And it's also where I have my models displayed. So like the display cases are just covered in paint dust. You know, all the flat surfaces. Like there's a table in there, it's covered in paint dust. The windows are covered in paint dust. I'd
Yeah.
like to go back to painting outside, honestly,
Uh-huh.
but it's like I think I need to set up the airbrush so I can just like get a chair out on the balcony and just open the slider door and then just be able to reach in, grab my airbrush, paint, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Just
I'm
do it right
reverting
there.
back. Like I've had enough of the indoor space. I don't like it,
Mhm.
but if there was a place to do it here, like if I just had to spend like $5 or $6 and it becomes somebody else's mess, like that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I think something like that. And let's just say, for example, that the customers like they're using, let's just say if they're using splash paint, right? And I also sell it, like they'd
Yeah,
be able to purchase it, but I'd
yeah,
also like give them a discount because they're purchasing it from the store to use it for right there, right?
sure, sure,
So
sure.
this way they're not feeling like, oh damn, like I ran out of paint, like I can't continue.
Yeah,
And they would have that option as well, and maybe that could prompt me to also bring in other brands of paint
get
because
that Gaia
someone
notes in there.
someone might be like, yo, like I ain't gonna paint here unless you have Gaia notes or something.
That would be me.
you know so yeah, I don't know. It's cool though. Like I like daydreaming about all kinds of stuff. Like, man, it would be dope to have this and this, but it's just time. And I'm just trying to make the right decisions and the products that I'm selling, so this way, you know like things grow, and I'm in a position where I'm like, all right, I think I can move forward now with this,
Yeah, dude.
and
Yeah,
and take it to that step, because I don't want to be an online like store forever working from home. You know,
yeah.
I need a space, because at some point, like even the fam's gonna be like, yo, what are you doing, dude? They got like boxes in the living room,
Yep.
we got boxes in the kitchen. Like this stuff's gotta go.
Well, and not only that, like it's weird to go from like going to work, like getting up in the morning and leaving home and going to work, as opposed to just being home all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like when you come home from work at 5, like you leave work at 5 p.m. and you go home, you're home, dude. You're gonna, eat dinner, watch the game, whatever you're gonna do at home. But
Yeah.
if you don't leave work, like the work never ends. It's it might be 5 o'clock when you feel like your day's over, but the printer just finished a print at 6 o'clock p.m. Go upstairs and clean it and start the next one. Then
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's 10 p.m. and now that print's done too. It's like I've had times when I was prepping for this show, actually, I had both printers running 24/7, and I get up at 3 in the morning and swap it out, just because I wanted to make sure those chrome parts were sent out in time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it's like, what am I doing, man? Like, it's like you can't get away from work, but I
Mhm.
don't know.
Yeah, I think if anything too, it's like we're putting in the work, where we have this goal, and this is the part of the grind.
Yeah,
And,
dude, totally,
and
totally.
then I feel like once we reach like another stage, it's not that the grind like stops. It's just we start to realize, all right, like you said, what am I doing? I need to figure out when's the right time to do this, and I can only do it from this time and this time. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like setting my alarm for 3 a.m. to change out the printer. It's like, dude, you know, like I mean, it was okay for like that week when I really needed to get the stuff out.
Hmm.
But it's like if I catch myself doing that, like under normal circumstances, like it's time to just like take a vacation or something, man. Or like, I don't know.
Yeah, you get burned out big time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. And like it's with like the wheels and stuff, like it's not so bad, you know. But what I don't like is the tires, dude, because the tires take twice as long and it's just the same thing over and over and over again. It was like 5 days of tires, man, you know. And then once that was done, it was like 2 days of white walls, you know. So it's like 7 days of just tires. And like they require more, like after they require more work after they're printed than just like irregular stuff. Like it's got to dry, I got to, you know, clean them off a certain way. And it's just like 5 days of tires, dude. And I don't know, man.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of work, dude, for sure.
It is, dude. But like once the tires are done, it's like a relief. You know, it's like cool. I don't got to worry about that for a long time now. You know,
Hmm. Man, that's
but
a trip. Is there any shout outs you want to give out before we wrap this episode up?
no, I don't know. I'm not good at that shout out stuff, dude.
Yeah.
I'll skip that.
Right on, dude. Nah, well, hey, dude, it was awesome talking to you. It
Yeah,
it was due for sure. I mean, I'm excited that you're gonna be coming out. I'm looking forward to seeing you out here in California.
for
And
sure.
I'm also excited just to see people like geek out on your stuff and buy it at the show.
I
This
hope they
is,
do. I hope they
man, I
do.
mean, like like I was saying, this isn't a regular thing. This is gonna be like this is a rare thing. Like you're coming out here to California, you're bringing product in, and I
Yeah.
hope that people see that and they appreciate that right there, because
Well, and I think a big part too is like just having those displays there where people can literally just walk up and
yeah,
look at it and see what they're getting, you know?
yeah,
And
definitely.
it's
Are you planning to unveil those that day, or are you gonna do maybe like a hint, like a little post, just so people could, hype people up?
uh I thought about that, but I already got them in bubble wrap. So
Oh, okay,
no.
okay, okay. No, no, right on.
Yeah.
Well, maybe when you're out here, let me know. Let me know that I can help you like promote it if you decide to.
I'm not gonna unwrap them till I arrive at
The
SoCal
show?
Open.
Oh, okay,
You know
okay,
what I
cool.
mean?
All right. No,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But other than that, I mean, I'll do what I can on my part to let people know. I mean, I want, people to know that, you're gonna be coming out, and
Yeah, man.
it's gonna
Appreciate
be
that.
fun, dude. I think it's gonna be a
Yeah.
good experience for
I'm
you. And
excited, dude.
but yeah,
And
dude,
actually
it was cool catching up. It was fun
that's
talking to
amazing.
you, and I look forward to seeing you there at the show.
Yeah, dude. It's only like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks from now, too. That's
Yeah.
soon. Cool, man.
Yeah,
All
it's not
right.
that far, dude. It's coming up. We just gotta get all our things ready, and we'll be there.
Yep.
So, everybody who's listening, this is Gavin of Roberts, aka Lowrider Model Car Parts. Make sure you check him out on Instagram. When the episode comes up on the post, obviously I'm gonna tag him as well, but make sure you check him out right there, and also check out his work too. I mean, he's a model builder as well. For those of you who are new listeners, just checking out the show. But thanks for tuning in. Episode number 161. So thank you, bro. And you have a
Yeah,
good
man.
night.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, thank you. We'll talk later.
Yeah, man. I'll see you soon.
All right. Peace out.
All
Later.
right. Late.